Good afternoon and happy Saturday. Welcome to our World Hour of Power show here with Lady Pauline and my co-host, Mr. Glenn Greenwich, the Honorable Mayor of Southern Boulevard. Hi, Glenn. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, Lady Pauline. How you doing?
All right. What's on the agenda today?
Well, we have some fabulous guests today. And we have Miss Barbara DeYoung Ezel from Babs Jam Fab Entertainment. And you want to find out what she's got to offer you. Welcome.
Welcome, Barbara.
Thank you. I am so happy to be here.
And you brought a guest with you?
Yes, I did. I brought Elizabeth Collins, and Elizabeth, she was awarded a scholarship from Babs of JamFam Entertainment for classical music. So we'll get to meet her in the show.
Okay.
All right. Looking forward to that. Classical music.
Wow.
All right.
Oh, that's different. That's very nice. Very nice. So, Barbara, tell me a little bit about your business and how long you've been doing this.
Okay, well, Babs of JamFam Entertainment sponsors events in our community of Queens. And I've been doing it now for the last 3 years, inspired by a family member who thought that I would be good at just, giving some events, and he encouraged me to start events. And I wasn't afraid, so I said, okay, I think I could do this, So put together the first Latin dance because we wanted to do something different. So I said, let's have a Latin dance, and invite people from the other side of Queens to come over. So we did that, and we figured that a lot of people, they didn't know how to Latin, but we can certainly teach them how to Latin. So we hired some dance instructors, and they came over from the other side of Queens, northern Queens, and they were teaching the Latin dance. And that's how we got started with that first event, and it went off very well. And I decided, well, hey, look, let's just keep going, So with all the events that we started putting together, the next one was an R&B event, and we did that over at the Black Spectrum Theater. And after that went so well, we figured, well, look, the proceeds from these events, let's do something rewarding with the money. So we started the Music Scholarship Program for young people. And I have 2 scholarships that I give a year. One is from 14 to 16, and that's in December. And then I have the one for the college students from 17 to 21.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yes.
Now, what's the criteria for these scholarships? What are you looking for?
Okay, well, I'm basically looking for young people that have an interest in music and pursuing it as a career.
Okay.
Because as you know, our public schools are not offering that much in music anymore like they did years ago. And a lot of these young people have to pay so much money for music lessons. So I figured, look, why can't we chip in and help a little bit, And so my thing is to help them to be successful in what they want to do in music. Now, it could be any genre of music. You just have to be registered with an accredited music school or college to qualify. I'm not looking for no essays. I'm just looking for credentials, proving that this is what you indeed want to do, And it's a contest.
Well, when we think about it, music has been such a big part of our community. We can trace the roots back to Africa with the drumming and dancing and
Yes.
so forth. The festiveness of celebrations.
Oh, yes.
And so music have always been a very strong in our community. So that's great. And you're right. We don't have the support programs that we used to have.
That's
I
right.
remember when I was in junior high school, just about everybody had some kind of instrument, a clarinet or
Yes.
a trumpet, or different instruments, a violin.
Yes.
Those were all part of music.
Yes.
Music appreciation, and
Yes.
and often you would have a choral group that would be put together and all of that. And in fact, some places even had a band,
Yes.
that they would put together. So it's a shame to see that that's the first thing that gets cut in our community. So it's so great that you're now championing that and championing that activity. So,
Yes.
thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Around how many people enter into the program as far as for the scholarship? How many people sign up for?
Well, because of COVID, and my heart goes out to all of those that have lost a loved one due to COVID. That sort of put a damper on, how many people applied for the scholarship. But I had to do a little field work. I had to go out there and go to some of the music schools and, even go on the internet a little bit trying to, find young people that might be interested in the scholarship program. And that's how I found the two people for last year and this year. Sometimes word of mouth.
Yeah.
All you have to do is talk to somebody. Look, I'm running a scholarship program. Some young person that you think could qualify. I'll send you the information, and and that's how I got my two people.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Tell me, how do you feel having received two different scholarships?
I feel like it's sort of surreal because I know starting off piano, I actually wanted to be a nurse at first, and I decided that this is a gift that I want to use and I want to bless other people with it. And so just receiving the two scholarships for something that I kind of had in the back burner of my mind, I just think it's really amazing because it shows that if you really just want to do something and you have the right heart and the right intentions, then you can truly make it and you can go really far in life. So
It's true. Now I'm going to ask you a question I ask a lot of people, especially in the entertainment field. How did you become inspired? Who inspired you to start with the music?
So I would say my whole family, my brother, my mom, and my dad are all really supportive with me with what I want to do, but I think specifically it would have to be my dad because he plays piano, and I would hear a lot of his stories from when he was younger, how he actually didn't have a real piano. He used the wooden table that he had at home, and I think he carved out or wrote out the notes of the piano to practice piano, and then he'd go down to the church to play. And it just really inspired me because it always makes me feel like I always have to put more than enough or more than 100% effort into what I do. So I think always thinking about my father's story, it makes me want to keep doing music.
Okay, Elizabeth.
So what had you pick classical music?
Classical music has always just been it's been a type of music that just really speaks to me. Of course, I love jazz and other genres of music, but especially when you listen or you watch movies and you hear the music in the background, of course, I'm focusing on the interaction of the characters, but what really caught my attention was how the music would elevate, it would rise and fall in the background, and usually it would be classical music.
Yes.
And for me, it's more than just a bunch of notes put together by some old men that wore wigs, It's music that tells a story, and that's why I'm into classical music.
Well, my niece studied piano a little bit, and I got exposed to some of the more classical, and when you look at piano is really built for classical music. When you think of the Bachs and the Beethovens and some of the things that that I have listened to that I can recognize, and it's such a beautiful instrument. And of course, you can do so much with it. You can do classical, you can do jazz, you can just about use any genre with the rock, rock and roll
Yeah.
with the piano or organ. So it's a very versatile instrument.
Yes, I would agree.
That's true. Now, Elizabeth, when you're finished with your college, what's your next step?
Well, at first I wanted to just do performance, but I want to actually teach people music, specifically piano. So I want to study piano pedagogy and get my master's in that, and hopefully go on to get my PhD. So I'd be Dr. Elizabeth Collins for piano.
Okay.
And I want to teach people who actually know they want to pursue music on the university level, because usually that's when people know what they want to do. Even if they decide to change their major, at least they're a little bit more on track of what they want to do, and they're certain about it, so I can teach them.
Oh, that's very good, very interesting. Now, Barbara, I want to hear about the nitty and the gritty as far as entertainment and the entertainment field. Are people still of today not ready for the field of entertainment? When I say that, especially the musicians, the singers, as far as the behind the scenes. We always look at, we see the shows, but we don't know the hard work that is put in to make that show. And that's where you come in at. He was telling me earlier that even to, make it happen, it takes you about a year for yourself. Can you tell me some of the hard work that it takes to put on a show?
Well, you have to find, the right kind of entertainment for the time, that you, and for the community as well.
Okay.
Because you want it well attended. So you need time to research, and find those people that might be enjoyable to the community.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, there are other things behind the scenes, like, you have to make sure that their dates correspond with the dates that you want, to put on your show. And then there's other things like revenue. You have to make sure that you have, the right revenue involved. There are also managers that you have to speak with.
Yeah.
You just don't speak to the group. You speak to the people that are managing the groups.
Yes.
That's who you talk with. And so all those things take time. And also to find a venue, a place, and where to have the event. You want to search that out and make sure that it'll be a place where people, it's easy, accessible for people to come to, and make sure that it also is set up for people maybe that have issues with mobility,
Right. Well,
that's
things
true.
like that. So it takes time, and for me, I would say I would do things a year in advance.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's very interesting because, as I was saying, most of the time as guests, we just see the show. We don't realize the behind the scenes and the hard work that entails. Also, can you speak a little bit about the legalities of when you have to book a group, what that entails?
Okay. Well, when you book a group, you always want to see their contract, and that's why I say you have to reach out to the managers, okay, and read the contracts thoroughly. You shouldn't post their pictures and things on your flyers, your posters, unless you receive some type of permission from them. And it's just out of respect as well,
Okay.
that you do these things. So those are some of the legal issues behind it. Yeah.
We're going to take a station break and pay some of the bills. We'll be returning with Babs JamFam Entertainment.
We'll be right back. But first, Are you a small business owner looking for solutions? TMI and Partners is a business solution company offering operational, branding, and financial solution. For only $9.99 a month, your company will be assigned a personal business advisor. Well, that's right, only $9.99 per month, no contract, and you're on your way. Call TMI at 347-234-5304. That's 347-234-5304. Or visit their website at tmium.com. Tomorrow, the world will know your business. Is that it, guys? Hello? Did I do good?
New York State's largest African American Chamber of Commerce, known as LIAACC, is now accepting new membership candidates. LIAACC has appeared on WABC, Here and Now, NBC's Positively Black, WLIW21, FIOS1, and in Long Island Business News. Membership consists of a variety of men and women of distinction who have been bestowed some of the most prestigious awards in the region. We host monthly membership meetings and signature events, including the Long Island African American Business Expo, Annual Health Fair, Ladies of LIAACC Annual Women's History Month program, and our annual Black History Month art exhibition. Join by simply logging on to our easy new membership sign-up portal at www.liaacc.org.
Hi, this is attorney Stephen G. James. We've been practicing law at this law firm for over 30 years. I'm a former assistant prosecutor in Kings County and currently a defense attorney to serve you better. We work harder to serve you better. So just call us for the lawyers you can trust. 646-905-9000. 646-905-7001. We're located on Sutphin Boulevard, right near Hillside here in Jamaica, Queens, New York, for over 30 years serving the community. The law firm of Stephen G. James. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Maya Delgado, and I am the brand ambassador of Kids Breakdown. And this is my demo video. Enjoy!
Download app on Google Play or App Store.
Create account. Choose avatar.
Enter Kids Breakdown Roadmap.
Roadmap consists of math, spelling, memorization, and matching mini games.
After each minigame, personality and interest questions will appear to pinpoint which job may suit you best. After completion of all 8 minigames, you will be presented with jobs you may want to learn more about.
Read fun facts about all the different types of jobs within the law, science, and arts career.
Use your gold bricks to make your job environment fully complete.
Go back and play minigames to earn more bricks if needed. I hope you enjoyed the Kids Breakdown demo video. Make sure to download today and share with your friends. This platform will pave the way for kids who are just like me, the groundbreakers of tomorrow.
My daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call Affirmation Fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops.
Well, welcome back. You're listening to Our World, Our Power here, and we can be heard on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and please don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Our World Media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Our World Media #1. Let's continue with this conversation, Glenn.
So, I love that you're bringing music to our neighborhood, and you did the Latin festival, and then you did some other things as well too.
Yeah, well, I did the R&B concert.
Okay.
In September of 2018 at the Black Spectrum Theater.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and that was also well attended, you know. It was on a whim. After the Latin dance, I was inspired more to do something. So got in touch with some managers from these groups and interviewed some of them. Some, the prices were a little high. So,
But one of the groups was Blue Magic,
yes,
wasn't it?
one of the groups was Blue Magic.
One of my favorites.
Yes, and they were right on target. Blue Magic stole the show.
Of course they did.
I'm
yeah.
sure.
Okay, and I would rehire them in a heartbeat. Blue Magic, and then we had another group. It was a doo-wop group called the T-Tones.
T-Tones, okay.
And if I don't want to tell my age, but I loved doo-wop back in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
We had several doo-wop groups, in fact, that came from Queens, right here.
That's true. That's true.
Several of them. So the T-Tones was right up my alley because they were able to sing all of the doo-wops that I once heard back in the 60s.
Back in the day, huh? Back in the day.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So haven't been able to promote too many events since then. I've had small things. Had a ladies' night out.
And what does that consist of?
Okay, the ladies' night out consisted of me renting a limousine and taking a few ladies to Manhattan to Birdland.
Birdland, sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
This particular evening, the Count Basie Orchestra
Nice.
was there at Birdland, and we took that limousine out. We had dinner. I think it was about maybe 12 of us.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Babs of JamFam sponsored that.
Excellent.
Okay.
So what kinds of things are you looking to do for the future?
Okay, well, I'm looking to do another concert, and I am looking to do another Latin dance.
Okay.
Well,
let us know.
Yes.
Because I know there's a lot of folks that would like to do Latin in Southeast Queens, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. It's a great exercise dance, Get you going and get all your body parts moving,
Well, I'll tell you a funny story. I was at a Queen of Fools event years ago, maybe about
Queen of
7,
Fua.
maybe 10 years ago. And one of the women that was there was 75 years old, and she looked like she was in her 40s.
Yeah.
And she danced every Sunday, she said, for at least 3 hours. And sometimes she'd go during the week as well.
Oh, yeah.
So the dance was her form of exercise and
That's
limbering herself up and so forth. And so it was just a great activity. And you could see the result of it. And she was fit as a whistle.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
On Sundays, I try to do praise dancing
Okay.
with the church. I mean, the church is not fully open yet, but it's online.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's great.
Okay, so when the choir is,
Doing its thing.
singing their
Yeah.
spiritual music, I just try to do my praise. I close my door, and it's just me and the church in there. So I mean, all of that's good to keep your body moving. Keep your blood flowing.
Yes.
That's what we need to do.
Yes.
And dance and singing and all of these beautiful arts, as a part of it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, I know you spoke about that you're in college, and do you ever see yourself performing live? I haven't heard you say that.
I've actually never thought of myself performing live. You know what? I'm going to take that back. I have. Maybe in a grand, maybe a concert hall. Because when you first said live, I thought of it as, when you hear live, you think of like one of those casual contemporary events. But then I thought about it with me maybe wearing a long gown. Like
like a Carnegie Hall or something like that.
Yes. I actually did have the opportunity to play there, which was really awesome. So I'd definitely do that again. And yeah, something like that where it's just, I like really formal, put together things because I'm a very organized person. And I don't know, when I think of those things, I just think of, I guess, royalty and just, for me, it's like a fairy tale. I really like it. So maybe something like that.
Is it because of the classical music that gives you that aura, that regalness?
I think so. It's not that I try to force myself to, it's just naturally how it comes about. Something about classical music. I know that there are some composers that were literally pouring out their heart into their classical music, and it's a bit more on the depressed side, but you still get that regal and just very stately effect with many classical pieces. So I think that also plays with it.
What advice would you give to any young person such as yourself that wants to get into the field of classical music or into show business, period?
I'd say the biggest thing is that you have to really want it. Right now, with me and doing classical music, I practice around 2 to 3 hours a day. I try my best to maintain that because I just want to keep getting better, and plus it's good too. It's like reading a book, learning how to read. It's good to read every single day so you get better at reading. So you definitely have to want it. You can't just show up and expect your fingers to do all the work. It's definitely a hard thing, and earlier I was talking about intentions, having the right intentions. If you're just there for the money, or if you're just there for the fame, I feel like eventually you'll just get really depressed or just unhappy with what you're doing. It has to be a passion, something that resonates with you, no matter if you're in a hard season of life. It has to be something that you think of and somehow you're able to remember, this is why I wanted to start in the first place. So definitely going in with the attitude of wanting to do it, not just going in for the sake of it.
That's wonderful. I like that. Does it scare you, the business of show business?
Honestly, sometimes, because you hear about how, say maybe in interviews or, I don't know, somebody's well known and maybe they say something and somebody takes it out of context. Not saying that I'm afraid that I would say something that would be taken out of context, but I feel like nowadays everybody's just finding something to put against somebody's name, and I guess that part makes me nervous, but I feel like if I just stay true to myself, I'll be perfectly fine.
Do you have a manager?
I don't have a manager, but if I were to make up one, it'd probably just be my dad, because he is usually the one that is in charge of all my musical activities and events. So, yeah, my dad.
Who are your favorite composers?
It would have to be Chopin and Rachmaninoff. I think those two are my favorite. The reason why is because I just really like how, well, they are composers of the Romantic era, and I just like how lyrical their pieces sound, and the storytelling in their pieces are really beautiful. They have beautiful long lines in their music, and there's a melody that carries throughout their pieces that are just infectious, and I don't know, for me that's just perfect. Especially when learning a piece, you definitely get to a point where you kind of get tired of practicing it for so long, but especially when I go back to listen to those pieces by Chopin and Rachmaninoff, I kind of remember why I really like the piece in the first place. Is because of those melodies. And sometimes it could be very dark because those composers did live kind of like really dark lifestyles, going through depression, and but playing it just reminds me of all the emotion that they put inside of it, and I'm able to sense that through it. So those two would have to be my favorite.
That's good. That's wonderful. I like that. Now, Barbara, you're in show business, but you had another love, which was, how can I put it, law enforcement.
Oh, yes. I joined law enforcement back in '78. And prior to that, I was with, the police department in 73. I didn't set out to be in law enforcement. I really didn't. I really wanted to be a model.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And I did get some jobs modeling, but I didn't stick with that.
Okay.
Because, you know, if you're not getting, if the job's not coming through, you're not getting paid.
On a regular, yeah.
On a regular basis.
Yeah. You needed a livelihood.
I needed a livelihood. So after getting married, I started taking exams, city exams, you know, and that's how I got into civil service. But most of my years was with New York State Corrections. And I loved that job. I really did. I loved it. I mean, I hear people complain and say they don't like, they can't wait to get out and all of that. But, you know, I would say that state corrections was a good job for me. Okay, and I worked maximum security.
Oh my goodness!
Really?
Wow.
Yes,
Oh, that's different. I've never met anybody that worked maximum security.
Oh yeah, I worked maximum security, and there were times when I was like, "Oh, do I want to go to work today?" But you know, everything worked out. I mean, you know, I started in '78, and the next thing I know, it was 2005. Time to retire and get out of there. You know, so. It moved sort of fast for me, I guess because I enjoyed what I was doing.
Okay.
Okay? There were times, you know, that were difficult, like the travel from New York to upstate, especially during inclement weather, things like that.
Yeah,
But it was a job well-deserved, and I thank God that He brought me through it. You know, safely.
Safely and sound,
That's
yes.
it. Yeah. And I said, when I retire, I want nothing to do with law enforcement anymore, you know.
So that's why you're in the entertainment field. So now, on a scale between law enforcement and entertainment,
Yeah.
which one now that you're able to look back, what would you say is your favorite, and why?
Okay. I probably would have went with entertainment because I love music so much. Even though I've taken some music lessons. And back in the early years, as a child, sung on the church choir. Because, you know, like a lot of musicians and singers and performers, they came out of the church.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
most definitely.
And so as a young person, growing up, we had to participate in the church. You belonged to the church, you had to sing on the choir, you had to be an usher, you had to be something in the church. And my grandparents, when they came to New York in the 1930s, or even before they got to New York, I should say, in the South, they had started a quartet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This was in the 1930s. So they came with the musical background to New York, and they would perform in different churches. And as we grew older, we started singing as a group. My sisters and I, we had a little singing group.
Wow.
You know, back in the day.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay.
You know, during the doo-wop years, the 60s, you know, everybody was doo-wop. You had a little group. So we had a little group, and we did get to record a record. Didn't go anywhere, but we got the experience anyway of recording. You know, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but not a lot of people get to record back then.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yes, there was a young man, he was a guitarist, and he saw interest in us, you know. So we would go to rehearsals on Saturdays, you know, and do our do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do type thing. You know?
Right.
And, you know, that went on for a little while, you know, and of course my mom and my grandparents, they kind of like frowned on that because, you know, people coming out of religion and stuff. They don't want to
Yes.
mix and mingle, But at any rate, we did get a chance to record in a studio, and that was a lot of fun. And we did make a record that really never went nowhere, but
You did. You
but
made
it was
a record.
fun.
Yes. Yeah. You had
but
the
it was,
experience.
we had an experience. Yeah.
Okay. That's nice.
Yeah, and it was fun.
Yeah. Now, how do you feel today, when you look at the groups that are out there now, as compared to in the 50s, but they still face certain elements that are the same. We as minorities, even though we've been in the entertainment field forever,
Yeah.
it seems like we always have gotten the short end of the stick.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you feel that is still going on today?
I think so. Back in the day, as you know, when groups made a record or album, they weren't allowed to be on the cover.
That's true. I forgot. Yeah, that is true.
They weren't allowed to be on the cover.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't put a black face on the cover. Had to be a model or, maybe Caucasians on the cover. That was not allowed. Blacks weren't allowed to be on American Bandstand
I remember.
back in the day. Okay. So you would have people of color entertaining on American Bandstand, but you couldn't be there to be a part of that.
I think that's why Soul Train became so popular.
Yes, that's why Soul Train became so popular.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Things like that. Now today, might be a little different, but I don't believe that they still get their fair share of the money.
The money.
With so much of the technology and things that have to go on behind the scenes, it costs a lot of money.
Yes.
Costs a lot of money. And I don't know what percentage of that actually goes to the performers.
Well, it's interesting. I was been doing some research in the crypto technology world, blockchain world, and they actually have smart contracts, they call it, inside a blockchain, which enable the artist to control who gets access to the music, and of course they get paid, and so they don't have to do all of the middlemen.
Yeah.
So I mean, those are the kinds of things that are emerging now.
Yeah.
But getting your own masters
Yeah.
was a big deal at one point in time, and then of course Michael Jackson
Yes.
broke the
He
scene
broke
for
it.
MTV, with his video,
Yeah.
which when you think about it, it was like, wait a minute, that was the first black video that was shown on MTV, but and MTV had been around for quite a few years prior to that.
That's
so,
true.
So we're, it hasn't been that long.
No, it hasn't.
You
It
know,
hasn't.
when you look at the entertainment business.
Right. Even when, say for instance, when a show go off, even a movie, you see all those credits on there.
Yes.
I mean, years ago, it was in block form where you can read it.
Yeah.
And it goes so quick now.
Now, with so many credits, they have to minimize the letters and and that could go on for what? Minutes, seconds,
Yeah.
So I mean, all of that revenue was going out, So how much is the entertainer really getting? I have no idea. I don't know.
Well, we want to let you know that that we as a network,
Yes.
WGJS, we actually have opportunities for artists to actually play their music on our radio. So we're inviting local artists to be able to, come on board and play their music with us and have it, have it available. So we think it's important. We think that the entrepreneurship inside of music is important, and of course classical. I love that you're doing classical music It's such a beautiful art form, and of course everybody's is into the rap and some of the other genres. Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But classical has been around, and it's so great to see someone of color that is pursuing that and wants to teach other people classical music. So it warms my heart to really have you here. Having you look forward to really taking it, bringing it to the community and making it available to the community. So it's really exciting.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
I appreciate what you're doing. Matter of fact, I love what you're doing, and you're so well spoken.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Barbara, can you tell us how the public can reach Babs Entertainment?
Sure. Okay. So, Babs of JamFam Entertainment. You can put www.babsofjamfamentertainment.com or babsofjamfam@gmail.com.
Okay, that sounds good.
And the scholarship program will be starting up again for December, and it'll be posted on the website. And it's for the ages 14 to 16. They have to be involved in an accredited music school and performing some type of community service, because I think that's important for young people to get involved in doing something, even if it's carrying some elderly person's groceries, but some form of community service. I think that they should be doing. I'm not asking for an essay, but I am asking you to perform some type of community service and be part of an accredited music school.
And then the other scholarship is what age range?
Okay, the other scholarship I award on Juneteenth.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is the age 17 to 21.
Okay.
And you must be pursuing a career in music.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
Wonderful. And Glenn, how can people reach you?
Well, before they reach me, I want to let them know that we're going to be having live music concerts on Friday in front of the Supreme Court from 1 to 2 o'clock.
And when does that start?
That starts this Friday, August 6th. So the month of August, all the Fridays in August, we're going to be presenting musical concerts. And then September 18th, we're having the Harvest Festival, Suffern Boulevard Harvest Festival, and we're closing down the street from Hillside to Jamaica Avenue on Suffern Boulevard. So we're going to have entertainment and vendors and cultural arts and all kinds of really family kinds of things. And our theme this year is young people for the children.
Nice.
Yeah. So they can reach me at 718-291-2110.
All right. You've been listening to Our World, Our Power show. And again, please don't forget to check us out every Saturday here from 4 to 5. And OurWorldMediaNetwork.com, OurWorldMedia.com, WGJSRadio.com, and our Facebook.com/OurWorldMedia1. All right, we had a great show this week.
Yes, we did.
It's a pleasure having both of you on.
Thank you.
And
Thanks for having us.
Elizabeth, I wish you the best of luck with your career. I know it's going to take off and go places unbelievable. Just remember the little people like myself. All right. And if you do any type of recordings or anything, please let us know so we can put it up on our website, on the radio, WJGS radio.
I will.
Okay. Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you traveling around the world delivering classical music.
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thank you all for listening to Our World, Our Power, where your news reflects you and your community. Thank you all.